The things I was looking for in an agent were, I guess, good communication, the ability to help me find the property I was looking for, and just negotiating all the messy paperwork really, and Martyn Gerrard delivered on that. I do feel I can trust Martyn Gerrard simply because we had an issue when we were moving in with the boiler, and it simply meant that we couldn't move in on the move-in date, which is quite scary and terrifying when you're moving into a property. But Andy organised it to where we could send the furniture into the house, so we didn't have to worry about where we were going to do and the movers and all of that, and he organised that. And it was so important during that time to know that somebody was on it, making sure the boiler man was fixing it and making sure the exact date. It was just so important to have that trust, to know when we were moving in and that they were on it. During my search for a property, I did deal with different estate agents, and I think Martyn Gerrard was better just simply because of that communication and that personal interaction versus just feeling like they were selling you something, or that kind of fake bad rap that estate agents get, in other words. I feel that the communication with Martyn Gerrard was really important, especially with, we have 2 cats, and so trying to move in, not knowing exactly the date you're going to move in, was a bit stressful, having to communicate with the cattery, letting them know when we're going to move in exactly. So anytime we had any questions at all, calling Martyn Gerrard or Andy, called straight back, got in touch with the boiler man, and I think the boiler man actually was in contact with Andy quite directly as well, so he made sure he had that personal relationship with them. So it was, that was amazing, because then you feel like it takes the stress off you, worrying that nobody's looking out for it and that you have to worry about it with all the other stresses of moving. I feel that going with Martyn Gerrard in particular makes you feel like you are supporting a local agency, somewhere that's looking out for North London, in other words, and not just a countrywide, soulless estate agency. When we had the move-in date, but we weren't moving in, we were moving the stuff in, Andy came down, he unlocked the door for us, left us alone in the flat for a bit to just move the stuff in. He stayed late, up over his hours, it was like 7 o'clock, then he came back and picked up the keys. So it was like, you did feel that it was more, you get that family-run organisation feeling versus the corporate feeling, the way that he was willing to go out of his way and stay later, and not necessarily just go by cold hard rules or of the hours that he had to come and go. It wasn't just it was a very personal, caring service, in other words. No, I haven't been paid to give a testimonial, but I think it's important. The reason I'm choosing to do it is to let other people know what the correct estate agent is for them and their family, simply because I've gone through the experience and I can help them. Simply because the home and feeling safe and secure is such an important thing. Moving is so stressful. It's one of the second most stressful things on, I think, lists of things that are stressful. And it's so important to find somebody who can ease that in any way for you and make you feel at home and secure and part of a family, really, because that's what home is. Yes, I would definitely feel happy to recommend them to friends and family, because actually I wouldn't think of any other estate agent to recommend to them, simply because I want them to have such a happy, comforting experience that I did.